All right. We're live. Hey, everybody, here with Boba again. So we're going to do two things on this recording. We're going to play a league in the background so you can watch, and then we're also going to talk about his EW experience. So I guess we'll start at the top. Big Butt. I think he's on... I've played him. He's on a Oops. I think.
I think I've played him before, too, and I do remember him being in an all-in deck, but more importantly, his name is kind of ridiculous. I'm just kind of looking at it.
Yeah. Anyway, so why don't you give us a rundown of your tournament? I guess however you want to do it. I suppose the logical way is from start to finish, and then I'll just ask questions along the way or towards the end. I mean, I've heard it from you before already, but you know, I have thought of some stuff I wanted to ask. But yeah, just take it away, and I'll punch in as I see fit.
So I arrived on Thursday. I think I arrived on Thursday, and then it was just hanging out with friends. I didn't even see the venue. There was like this milkshake place that a lot of people were talking about. We went there. It was as good as advertised. Really, really good. And then that was pretty much Thursday. Super good, like friend dinner. And so for that reason, on Friday, people were trying to talk me into playing some Magic, but I didn't feel like playing Vintage or the Platinum event. I'd rather sleep in. So I just canceled everything and just woke up like at 11, got breakfast, and didn't roll into the convention center until like 12:30.
Yeah.
This guy's on Oops then.
Yeah, sure looks that way. Well, your hand is decently set up to deal with it, but yeah.
Yeah. And then at 1:30 or 2, there was like a trial for buys for the Legacy event, which was kind of lame because winning it was only one buy and there's 15 rounds, right? So back in the day with Grand Prix, you could get 2 buys winning a trial, right? But the fact that it was only one buy in 15 rounds was kind of lame because they also offered it for Vintage, but Vintage only had 9 rounds, so 1 in 9 is much better than 1 in 15, right?
Yeah. Can I pause real quick there? So one thing that I might have done is Spell Pierce that Cabal ritual. I'm assuming you didn't because you'd rather Spell Pierce a Pact of Negation if he does that.
Well, what I would have done if he pacted me was I would have aimed another force at this Undercity so that on his upkeep it kills him.
Oh, I see. So why not just kills him, right? I guess why not Spell Pierce the ritual? I guess then.
Because I have 2 force, I want to blow the kill the payoff here.
Okay, got it.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah.
If I only had a single, yeah, and then if he shows me another force, then I would pierce or pact. I would pierce the second pact. Okay. But the first pact would kill him. And so, my friend Tony, his username is Into Play. He talked me into playing the trials with him. Let's see here. Wow.
That's pretty atrocious.
Yeah, it's looking cute now. It's looking a little cuter. So we played the trial, and it's single elimination. Only 5-0 gets the buys. Less than that is just like some, whatever number of tickets, which is pretty relevant. Right. And then, so I played, and I lost, I think, the second to the last round. So I won rounds 1, 2, and 3, lost round 4, didn't single elim, so I didn't play round 5. Pretty close. It was a little frustrating because I lost to Painter, and I just shuffled this away.
This is what you didn't pay your MTGO premium.
Oh,
you let the payment lapse.
Yeah, yeah. So all 3 games I mulliganed pretty hard just because no lands, and then game 3 I mulliganed to 5, and I almost won. Anyways, despite that, I just needed him not to top deck one of his Pyroblasts. So he'd have 6 to 7. He already used 4. Right? If he lets me untap, I untap with like a Jace and a Stony Silence and a whole bunch of good stuff. And he's hellbent. So I could have won if he just didn't top deck it. But he did. So that was that, and I died. And that was the end of the trial. So I was just hanging out the rest of the day, had dinner with some more friends, and just hung out. No buy. And then came in the evening time, someone was joking about how so I don't do this, not in paper and not online either, but I do know people that do this, which is look up your opponent's name. And so someone mentioned it.
Yeah.
And one of them was like, oh yeah, I feel like you should do everything in the realm of things you can do to improve, to have the best odds of winning, right? And so to that end, he's like, I do it, and I'm like, okay, interesting. Um, as a joke, I went onto my MTG Melee account, which is what they use to
Do pairings.
do pairings and stuff. Yeah, and unless you put whatever username you wanted, and I have been told though, like, no matter what you put, it's up to the tournament organizers whether they can like make a display or not. In other words, even if you put, let's say your name is John Doe 123, it may or may not show your name versus your username still, right? Because even when you put it, people might see your name, not your username. As a joke, I put faulted form. This is a joke, and I didn't realize that it actually showed, and they didn't put their names until like rounds 2 or 3 of the main event the next day. And so I thought it was really funny. Interestingly enough, I think only one person wasn't too happy about it, but they weren't even that upset. Meanwhile, a lot of the people that saw it thought it was freaking hilarious. Both people that played against me and people that just heard about it. So for the most part, it was just fun and games, basically. And I mean, at the end of the day, it doesn't matter if you know what they're on or you think you have information, but whether you act on it is a whole nother thing, right?
Yeah.
Because whether it's online or otherwise, let's say you play against JPA 93, it doesn't mean he's necessarily on Sneak and Show. He does play other decks, right? Just because it says faulted form, even if I was faulted form and that was my username, it doesn't mean I'm actually on Oops. It doesn't mean diddly, So that's my thoughts on that. And it was pretty funny. 2 or 3 people out of 15 rounds, which is less than 20%, actually was like, yeah, you got me, dude. They were laughing pretty hard. They're like, yeah, you totally got me. I thought you were on Sneak and Oops on Spells,
yeah.
and turns out you're not. And it was really funny because the cow's out of the bag, turns 2 or 1 when they're like, they would aggressively mull for a force hand, and then I'd open up with like a ponder, and they'd be like, oh, yeah, you've been expanding to other archetypes, huh? And that's when and I would just smile and we'd talk about it afterwards. But overall though, like, it was just fun in games. Pretty much everyone had a good time about it. It was just, it's a joke, whatever. Interestingly enough, after EW, I paired online into Faulted Form, and he thought it was freaking hilarious. In fact, he actually saw me. I think he mentioned that I was like a table, like one of the higher tables, like 6 or 7 or 8 or 9 or something, one of the rounds on day 1, and he actually wanted to come and say hi and just introduce himself or something like that. But something came up. I guess
it's a busy big tournament. You got stuff to do.
Yeah, well, his friend called him. I don't remember exactly, but I thought it was kind of funny. It would have been cool to meet him. I did meet a lot of people that was kind of interesting. A lot of like people were like, "Oh, it's nice to meet you," because I met like Geodude Jared and Raccoons with a Z and what is it, Vendilion Misclick. Like there was like a laundry list of 20 or 30 people, but all in all, it was pretty fun. It was a good time. And so that was the whole Faulted Form thing. Let me see here. What are we doing?
So your early rounds, did they go pretty much as expected? Because I know that a lot of people say cut basic mountain. Wow, not something I would have considered. I mean, I guess you don't need it, and it's a terrible draw. Keep Batterskull, but not Cauldron? Huh.
Yeah, because sometimes you have to race the random 3 and 4 drops, and this thing lifelinks.
Okay.
You'd be surprised.
All right. What was I saying?
Yeah, so it's either double Stoneforge and a single Batterskull with the coat, or if you're feeling crazy, you just go one of them. Yeah, let's try this. So day 1.
So how are your early rounds? Let's start there, because those were typically the first 2 or 3 rounds, as I understand it, are kind of like the Wild West rounds.
I won my first 2 to 3 rounds, all 2-0, and I remember that because I beat almost everyone that all the matches I won were 2-0, I think, or almost all of them, if not all, day 1. And so I won the first 2 or 3 rounds. Pretty straightforward decks. One was green-white depths, and then there was your usual, like, what's it called? There was that Philia blue-white
taxes, Philia taxes, whatever, with the warp, with the blue warp card.
Yeah, Riddler.
Riddler, yeah, there it is.
Yeah, so I won the first like 2, 3, or 4 rounds or whatnot, 2-0, and then I played against my first Carnforge opponent, which is one of the frustrating points in the whole tournament because I went 10-5 or 11-4. I don't remember. Either way, it's like, as they say in that one movie, if you're not first, you're last. So to me, it's garbage all the
Oh,
same.
so I thought your Carnforge opponent was later. He was like round 3, you said? Okay.
I think it was 3 or 4. I don't remember, but he was my first loss. And the frustrating thing was because it's one of those times you get paired into either someone who cheats or they're ultra sloppy. Either way, it's to your detriment. And I was talking to 2 people about this, my frustrations after, and they brought some interesting, good views. I haven't been to a big event like this in a while because I used to play all the Legacy GPs, but I've never. This is my first Eternal weekend, and it's my first Eternal weekend because when Legacy GPs were going on, I didn't see the need to go to Eternal weekend, right?
Yeah.
For reference, at this event and most Eternal weekends, 12-3 gives you a good chance to top 8. To put into scale the size of Legacy GPs, I went 13-2 and did not top 8. I got 10th on 13-2. Okay, so it's a lot of people, like 2,600 to 4,000 people. And anyways, so I think I very much had a chance to, quote 12-3 and have a fighting chance at top 8, but a few things kind of went south. 2 matches were out of my control. One was just nonstop mana flood, and the other one was just really bad luck. I could not get a white source. And then there were 2 that were that were frustrating, and it's the first Carnforge. So this guy is really sloppy. I don't think he's a cheater, but it's a fine line, right? What is this guy doing? Yeah, that's fine. Oh yeah, that's great. So what happened was I had a Narset in play at some point, and he tried to draw under the effect of Narset twice with Ring and once with the command. Yeah, I think this guy's dead.
I'm not sure what he kept his hand on.
Well, he rolled to 4, so he's just looking for a fast kill. I mean, he's playing oops, right? It is what it is.
I guess. Okay. Anyway, yeah, keep going.
And so he was accumulating GRVs right and left. Like game 1, he realized that one of his sideboard cards was in his main board, and then he drew under Narset. Oh yeah, this guy's super dead. Like, so for example, he would draw under Narset and then get the GRV, we would stop him. And then the second time it happened, I actually could have. It was like one of those moments where it happens in slow motion. So what happened is he was drawing with Ring, and he was going to add 2 or 3 cards to his hand.
So
and in slow motion, I was thinking to myself, I could stop him before it touches his hand, or I could let it touch his hand. In which case, the fix is different; it becomes a Thoughtseize. I don't know if you know that.
It's a triple,
right? Because you can't tell what they drew.
Just for a little context here, because I think you skipped over it. It's important to note that this was the 3rd time he'd attempted to draw under a Narset at this point. So this isn't the first time this has happened in this matchup. It's the 3rd time.
Yeah, and so on the 3rd time, you get like either a game loss on the 3rd or the 4th one. But either way, game losses aside. So I called Judge the first 2 times. He got those GRVs or whatnot, game rules violation. And I don't know if it's a 3rd or 4th time that gives you a game loss. But either way, I wasn't thinking about that. I was just thinking, if these 2 or 3 cards touch his hand, I Thoughtseize him that many times, right? But I'm gonna do the decent thing. I'm gonna, because I caught it in time. I stopped him, right? So he gets it right, and he already got like 2 game rules violation and then another violation for his deck error, right? And I didn't want to be like the guy who's always calling Judge. And so I didn't call Judge when it could have been a game loss outright, winning me the match, or I Thoughtseize him like 2 or 3 times. And it just so happens that on that very turn, he had 1 more threat than I had counters. So if I Thoughtseize him, he would just be dead in the water, right? And so I regret not calling Judge, and it just sucks, right? Because either I'm going to be the guy that's always calling Judge, or I'm going to feel shitty afterwards because some guy basically cheated me, or just playing very sloppy. And I was talking to my friends, and they had some interesting views on this. So I was talking to JPA, and he says it's one of the reasons why he hates paper. I actually like paper because of the human factor. I can read people and get a feel for the game more than behind a computer screen. But JPA hates it because of the rampant cheating and or he says the sloppy play, which is he has a point. And then I was talking to this other guy named Echo Baronin, and he kind of iterated a sentiment that I used to have. So prior to COVID, when I was playing a lot of legacy GPs, I was much more of like a stickler, right? I'm not out to rule shark people, but if you play improperly, I call judge because like you can't be drawing extra cards, for example, right? And Echo was like, when you go into events like this, you have to pick one of two extremes. You can't be in the middle, okay? You either have to let people just get away with it, you're playing for fun, or you play by the rules and you make sure your opponent plays by the rules too. Here, I was kind of in the middle, and it kind of screws me over, right? Because it's not quite like I have a like direction. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
You have to be consistent. You have to be consistent in enforcing the rules, or just letting them go all the way through with it. You can't really pick and choose. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Then it gets kind of messy. And so, in the past, again, like old Mitchell would have just called judge. I didn't. It's on me. I lost. Whatever, but it feels bad.
Yeah.
And then, anyways, the tournament progresses. I 2-0 some more people. And at some point, I think it was round 7, I played against Stiflenot. Super easy matchup, 99% of the time. I just completely flooded out, and I lost. That's pretty much it. Like at one point, he had 3 lands in play, and I had 9. That means I had 6 more cards that didn't do things compared to him. And I still somewhat made it a game, kind of, to barely kind of stay in the game. However, at some point, he just had more cards that did things than I did, right?
Maybe I'm misremembering this too, but I think another frustration you have with this matchup, and maybe it's something that people should remember about live Magic, is that there are a number of people watching you play and seeing you draw that many lands, and I guess visibly or audibly like sighing, kind of tipping your draws to your opponent.
Yeah. So this was, I think I was within the top 20 tables or something because I was X1, maybe like 7 or 8 rounds in or something. And I think normally I would be more annoyed and probably would have called judge as well. But at that point, I guess I was just dead in the water and I'm just growing old and like soft or something because I didn't really make a mention of it. But what happened was every draw step for like 6 turns in a row was a land for me, right? And the people behind me watching me draw these cards and saw like a fistful of lands in my hand would either laugh or scoff or sigh or make some kind of think something audible, which is like obviously bad because my opponent can gain information from it. But that's the kind of frustrating, yeah. Thoughtseize, yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, you probably should call a judge on it, and I guess as people who might go to it too that are listening, like just remember as an audience member, you're not supposed to put don't put your thumb on the scale like that.
Yeah. And so another thing is to keep in mind is, I mean, when you go to these events like this, typically you spend a lot of money, you spend a lot of time and your efforts to go there. And so out of respect for your own time and money and then the people that allow you to go there, whether it's, someone might be babysitting your kid or your cat or your pet or something, like it takes a lot to go to these events, right? Therefore, you probably should want to, and have the rules enforced and, not have people cheat, play sloppy, audience members just kind of, tipping your hand or something like that. And I mean, I haven't played at an event like this since those legacy GPs. So I suppose it wasn't in the mindset I was, as I was playing back in the day. But I don't know. It is what it is. But anyway, so I lose to Stiflenot because I just drawed mono lands, tribal lands for like 6 turns. So I finished 7-2 day 1, which was kind of frustrating because usually I go 8-1 for whatever reason at 15-round events. Day 1, I pretty much never go 9-0. I always go 8-1. Never better, never worse. It just kind of happens.
Oh, this is that Pox,
I don't know why.
Green Pox deck.
Oh, this is definitely Pox.
Yeah.
And I kind of wish I played Mountain out now because I would have sacked it. Oh, man. All right. Well, it is what it is. I should have played the Mountain out. But I didn't think he would Pox this early, though, with only 1 counter. So I thought I had more time. Usually they'll wait until they have, they have a few more.
A few more.
So this is super early. I didn't expect this. But I suppose it's because he saw that I only had a Mountain hand, and so this is like a really good chance to do before I play my Mountain. Oh man, we'll see what happens here. Yeah, so normally I go 8-1, not 9-0, not 7-2 or worse. Always 8-1. So 7-2 was disappointing, but it is what it is. It's all right. So, and then the next day, I lose a feature match. I was I don't remember what round it was, but I was chosen for like one of the people that got a feature match. And what happened was we were sitting down, preparing and getting our stuff ready, but they said don't play yet, because they're trying to get the equipment and stuff ready. And at some point, one of the content people who helped, Anurag set up all the live stream and stuff, he came over and he said, "Hey Mitchell, I hope it's okay. Instead of calling your deck blue white Stoneblade, or sorry, blue white control, we want to call it like Jeskai Stoneblade." Right. And he said that like right in front of my opponent. And I was like flabbergasted. And in fact, everyone around me was flabbergasted too, because the way they set up EW is kind of cool. There was like an elevated area all around the feature match area, which allowed people to kind of have a bird's eye view when they're watching the match. And even they realized what had just happened. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that was super, super frustrating to me. Yeah, it was like super bad.
I mean, the situation too, but yeah.
Yeah, it's just super bad. I mean, like, that's a huge deal because to know that I don't play Wasteland, and he's on the play, by the way, as well, it super dictates your opening hand, right? Because let's say your opening hand is one land, and you have a Thoughtseize and a Tamiyo, he's free to get an Underground Sea now, right? Whereas if he knew I was on Wasteland, he might have been conservative, got an island, played Tamiyo out, or pondered, right? Instead of do whatever else he's doing. So anyways, it's like a huge deal at the highest level, how people dictate their first couple turns. And so I was again really frustrated by what happened. And then of course my deck screwed me over. I couldn't draw a white source, and game 2 I couldn't draw a white source, so I lost to a Baragoit with Plow in hand. And then game 1 I lost a dice roll, whereas if I went first and he didn't know what I was on, I could have won because he forced the will of the Stoneforge Mystic, so my dress down would have caught his Atraxa. But yeah, anyways, that didn't happen. That really sucked. Yeah, and so I finished like X5 or X4. But yeah, so the main thing was Karnforge screwed me over, and then the content staff screwed me over, and then there were 2 matches where I just got flooded out one way or another. Those are the main things that happened, but I think it was like super attainable, top 8 or on that cusp. Overall, it was a pretty fun experience, other than the aforementioned.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't think I have any outs because that's another one. This is 2. I plow that even if I draw
off your planes, and I'm pretty sure that's game over. But we'll see if he does that.
Yeah, if he quarters this, I'm also dead too. You're right.
So I guess after I don't know, because we talked about your tournament a couple days ago, prior to this recording. I think kind of what I realized is that at least personally that because like I think there's a lot of when people go to win, I think they can get kind of wrapped around the axle and just like putting reps in with the list. But like 2 of the losses that you took weren't really in your control, and one of the one that was, like, I feel like that goes into like the winning mentality where it's like, look, like we're gonna play by the rules, and it's not, I don't think it's sharking if the guy's on like the third time trying to violate the rules, right? But just letting him go, like, I mean, you don't know because of how pairings work, but like, that could have easily been something that puts you into top 8, like not just that win.
Exactly.
The breakers.
I feel like
forward, you don't know.
I feel like things when it's a little bit different, like whether it's younger Mitchell in my ear or like a friend or a voice in my head that just gave a gentle reminder. It's like, hey, dude, you spent a lot of time and effort to get here. It's not, just make sure people play by the rules and that everyone has a fair opportunity to play. Then I think I would have made different decisions, and I think I would have had a reasonable chance at top 8ing, because it's 15 rounds, but you really only have to win 13 or 12 of them, right? And so, you get mana flooded once or twice, or you run into some impossible matchup like Eldrazi, and you can still very much top 8, right? That's why I like bigger tournaments, because with more rounds, there's less variance, if that makes sense.
Yeah. I love large numbers, right? Better players will rise to the top. Anyone can lose, 3 rounds in a row, but you know, if you're really good, it's going to be hard to lose, 10 or whatever. Yeah,
Exactly. Yeah.
better averages will just rise.
Yeah. Gosh,
Yeah.
I haven't played this matchup in so long. I forgot what else I take out.
I was wondering if Consign was any good in this to stifle out those the trigger as the line goes to the graveyard.
I don't think so.
Okay.
Let's try that.
Anyway, so yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah, so I think that a part of mental prep that I think gets overlooked is that people just aren't prepared to. I don't want to say like do whatever it takes, but like just get comfortable with the idea that hey, this is not a weekly at your local store. People are paying to travel here. They're paying big money for hotels. They're paying big money on entry, and
Yeah.
you're not necessarily you're not a dick if you just make them play by the rules. It like you said, it's respecting it's respecting your time, your efforts to be there. It's more about that than it is just like I want to like angle shoot my way into a free win. Because I don't think you would be so heated on this if it was just like I think that's why you have like 3 game rule violations before you get a loss, because anyone can just like oops I forgot to play under the narset.
Yeah.
The judge comes and slaps you on the hand and everybody moves on. But yeah, by the 3rd time it's pretty tough, and similarly for maybe folks going to their first EW, I don't want to scare people off, but that's also an example of like, hey, it's pretty important to like tighten up your play when you go there. This ain't Kansas anymore.
And honestly, it's not that scary because you have to keep in mind that ever since the last 5 or 6 years, Wizards has really changed their policies to make the game friendlier. Back then, you would get game losses right, left, and center so easily for even the smallest infractions of drawing extra cards. Now, it's a slap in the wrist. It's part of the frustration because every time they draw extra cards, if you catch them, it's a slap in the wrist. But if they get away with it, you don't catch it. It's a huge advantage, right? And I was talking to another one of my friends. He's like a pretty big legacy personality, but I won't throw his name out there in case he doesn't want this view to be out there. But his main view is, which I hadn't considered before. He's an NBA fan. So he's like, not everyone is willing to do what it takes to win, right? Like Kobe Bryant and Chris Paul are famous because not only did they read the rule books for the players, they read the rule books for the referees in order to maximize and get the maximum amount of value anywhere and everywhere they could, right? Which is pretty crazy if you think about it. And let me see here. What are we doing?
I'll probably put back Mountain under Batterskull, but
I want Batterskull. Right? And to that end, anything that's not against the rule. So in other words, if a judge won't give you a penalty for it or DQ you for it or kick you out for it, is fair game. Even if people think it's like frowned upon or it's this or that. Like at the end of the day, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And not everyone's willing to go that far. I'm not even willing to go that far. But that is something to keep in mind, which I thought was an interesting take on things, right? And sometimes it does require that level of commitment or that level of passion to really chase after, the wins. And so looking back, there are people who will go to these events or go to any event in general looking to angle shoot their way to a win. And I'm not looking to do that. So I should not have felt any like moral obligation or shame or anything of anything in calling judge in retrospect. I shouldn't have, And yeah. But, it's okay. What's done is done. I'll keep it in mind for the second EW I go to, which is hopefully going to be next year's.
You're not going to try to go to Europe or Asia?
I want to go, but the likelihood that my adult responsibilities will allow me to is, yeah,
Yeah.
makes it seem improbable. I'll certainly try, but I don't think so. It would be cool though, both because magic and traveling.
You know, I'd probably go to the
Yeah.
Asian one just because I love going to Japan, but
Yeah, I want to go to the Asian one because I love Japan. I love the food. I love everything. But I actually have a few friends that are going to the Europe one that are trying to egg me on to go.
hmm.
And the he didn't win the last EW, but he in America, but he did pretty well. Larson, he's a homie, and he said that he's going, and yeah, he's one of the people that's like, yeah, you should come. All right, what the fuck am I doing here?
Then I think it's discard Snapcaster Mage, probably.
I think so too.
Sack an island.
Okay. So yeah, it would be cool to go and hang out with all these friends and such, but we'll see if I can make it happen. This is bad. It's okay.
Yeah, so I do. Yeah, so I think. Yeah, so because you're as someone who hasn't been to a bigger tournament, I think I'd only assume that losses would come from, I guess, your own mistakes. But yeah, I mean, you could argue that not calling the Karn Forge player out was a mistake, but
Yeah,
also like there were things that kind of weren't in your control, like the crowd noises. Although you could have asked the judge to quiet them, but if you're drawing
yeah,
6 to 7 lands a turn, it's not like the crowd noise
yeah,
is actually what lost you the game.
yeah.
But
Yeah, I would have
yeah,
lost regardless, which is why I didn't bring it up. But
but
definitely,
the
it's just been
camera
so
one
long
was
since I've been to one of these bigger events that I just have to keep in mind, and maybe other people should too, that there's going to be a lot of things out of your control. But
like
that doesn't mean that you can't do your best to try and control everything you can control. And then if it's good enough, then through less variance in 15 rounds, you should be able to make your way to the top. Anyways,
I think that one where the event staff gave away your deck was like, wow. Like
yeah.
you're killing me, guys. Like because I
Hmm.
mean, you can't make your opponent unhear it. So like,
Exactly.
what was the judge
And
gonna do? Like make him announce what he's on too? Like I
exactly. So what happened was I got to speak to the head judge, and he told me that there's nothing that he could do about it, and unless I could think of something, which I couldn't. You know, what I mean, like he's not going to like tell me his deck just because I know or whatever. And so it was it is what it is. I mean, after all, he is the head judge. It's not like I'm appealing it. You can't appeal it anyway. So he says nothing to be done. So yeah. So actually, during the feature match, I was pretty freaking frustrated because that happened before the match even started. I don't know what ended up showing on my like facial features during the feature match. I haven't even rewatched it. I don't intend to,
ooh,
but
I'm a little surprised
yeah.
you didn't go after the Mox Diamond, so he can't or is a Saga next turn.
Oh, I was trying to get a meltdown.
Okay.
I just wanted to aggressively get a meltdown. One token is fine because if I tag it next turn, because the next turn he's gonna play another land. I tag it, he's gonna make a robot and pass anyways. And one robot's not that big a deal.
Oh, I see.
The difference between 1 and 2 robots shouldn't be a big deal here.
All right.
I was distracted. It's not supposed to be in my hand. It's supposed to be the next card, but it should be okay. I don't think he's gonna Thoughtseize me because he needs to make robots, so it should be okay.
So
Yeah.
is there anything
All
else
right.
in this tournament that you think happened that's worth talking about? Because I think those are the points of frustration that you had that you voiced to me. But I'm not sure if there were others that you didn't get off your chest from the first time we talked.
I'm sure there's a lot, but I'm just not remembering. Some interesting things where I didn't expect Storm, but then I remembered that a lot of times, being Legacy, there's a good chunk of the community that plays what they enjoy, and so, for example, people that play D&T tend to be on D&T pretty much almost all the time,
Yeah.
right? Same thing with Storm. Same thing with there's a lot of decks, right, like that. And so I actually played 2 Storm decks in 15 rounds, and that was pretty fun, pretty interesting. And as they noted, my deck is extremely hateful towards Storm, so I 2-0 both of them. I played 2 cutter decks, 2-0 both of those as well. That was fun. That was interesting.
I think Cutter is one that I was pretty scared of the first couple times I saw it, but the more I play it, the more it's like, oh, okay, this is not so bad. It's just kind of like Delver again.
Yeah. One thing that was interesting that I saw that he just spell bombed my thing. Okay. Well, it's just a 1/1. I think I can deal with that. That's fine. But my Snapcaster has no targets, no homies now. But I've seen it in leagues online and in my locals. Someone playing Cutter and having like 1 surgical extraction. What is this? A loam? Or is this Rumble? It's a loam, right?
Yeah, he's like taking a while to target. Oh no!
So he wants to bring back lands. Interesting. So, but I don't want him to bring back the Saga. So I might have to macabre the stupid Saga and then hope he misses on lands. I don't have a clean way to deal with Saga now, and 1 robot is not big a deal, but three robots that are each 4/4. Yeah, this sucks. I really didn't want to do this. Okay. If only this was surgical, I could strip all the Sagas and be done with it.
Yeah.
Oh, he missed.
But
he hit Loam, though. Yeah, but he missed. He didn't get any lands back.
Well, that Loam's only a matter of time before it kills you.
Yeah, so I need it. Okay, this is starting to feel familiar now.
Flood.
Yeah, I have 4, 5, 6. Yeah. He got his hatchery. Now he has 2 Loams, 1 in hand, 1 in graveyard. Oh, that's so frustrating. So he's gonna Hogak me now too.
Pox deck does, and the few times I've played it, it's been pretty good. I don't know. I guess like on the surface, it's like you kind of look at this deck and say, this doesn't seem that good. But I guess once I actually sat down and played against, it's like, wow, this is actually.
Oh no, it's very good. Yeah. It does its thing. I don't know why he didn't Hogak me. You can just tap these 2 and bring out the Hogak, but whatever.
Okay, that's a start.
Yeah. So let's see here. I have to draw cards.
Yeah. You don't have surgicals, right?
No, I don't have any surgicals right now. So a nice thing that I saw was Noxious Revival out of Cutter. And I thought it was super cute because I've seen the main deck surgical extractions, but then I haven't seen Noxious Revival, right? Because when you main deck it, you can buy back your what is it called again? Your you can buy back your Price of Progress, your double bolts, your Wasteland, things like that. And then if you do it to someone's reanimation target, it basically time walks them, right? Because you have to redraw a fatty. So I thought that was cute. That was good. That was cool innovation on the part of that person or the collective blue-red Cutter collective or something. I don't know.
So basically, you force that because next turn you're gonna go all in and try and find a Fairy Macabre and nail both of his Loams. Are they both in the yard?
Just 1.
Didn't he have 2? I thought you said.
Yeah, there was 1 in graveyard and 1 in hand. I thought.
Okay.
I might be a little distracted, but I thought when he loamed once to his hand, that one milled 3, that one dredged 3. All right, so let's see what we can get here. Oh, that's kind of interesting.
Boseiju is still trapped in the yard too.
Yeah, Boseiju's there. I don't know how many they play. But yeah, so it's cool to see innovation, right? I also got to see a Nadu player, the elf version. Like, instead of having a Crater Hoof, they played 1 Baloth so that they can duplicate it 30 times. Uncounterable, haste, trample. That's their version of a portable Crater Hoof with the Nantuko. So I thought that was cute. It was cool. It's nice to see people innovate instead of complain about the format. Don't get me wrong, the format can be improved. There's lots of bullshit along with it, right? Like the ring and cards that should be banned. But that being said, people are still innovating, and that's good to see as opposed to the complainers.
Just curious, what do you think of the current meta?
I am not a huge fan. I think it's a little too combo incentive. Maybe dial it down 10 or 20%. I think it's a little bit more all
It's a
right.
little combo heavy. Dial it down 20%. 20% is a lot. Like when you
Well, right
consider.
now, oh, what is happening here? Uh, hmm. Okay, that's like not terrible. I can do this. I can work with this.
I was just laughing because like 20%'s a lot when you consider like the when most decks should be at what, like, I mean 33% a piece. So like, bringing combo down
Yeah.
20% is that's basically most of Control's meta share.
Bowmaster. Oh, that's not cool. He's at 1 now,
I'd
so it's
rather
kind of
not.
not.
Yeah.
Yeah. If it was at 2, I would just take the ping, plow that, brainstorm, and do something, but I'm not going to deal with it.
Wow,
Like,
conceded to that. All right. I thought there was still a similar game on that one.
yeah.
But yeah. Okay.
Yeah, so that was cool to see. Um,
So I mean,
I only played
so
one
I
breakfast
assume you had a
player.
good time at the tournament then, or
Um,
the
if you
the
outside of the things that yeah, there was some frustrations as far as like things I could have done, like calling judge or things that are outside my control, mana flooding or content people screwing me over. Yeah, it was fun. I mean, lots of 2-0s, lots of uh, opponents that were super sweet and super nice. Yeah, it was really cool. I got there's a few people who really wanted to meet me in person,
yeah.
so we set that up, and that was cool.
Ooh, for the record, did you like Pittsburgh?
No, I would never go to Pittsburgh for any reason other than work, which is never going to happen because I don't work anymore. Not really. Or EW.
Yeah.
It's not like New York or LA or San Francisco or Seattle or a cool city where it's like, oh, it's kind of cool. Let's take my family or let's go there to see something. Like, no, I would never go to Pittsburgh just because.
Huh,
Yeah.
so I just want to pause here. So I guess why did you spell pierce that? Because my head says this is blue black reanimator. You pierce his thought sees, but if he dazes you back, which is what's happening now, then you have no counter magic, right?
Yeah, well, if he takes my force, then I know he's pretty. He already has a combo. Where he's close to it. If he takes my back to basics, then we're just gonna grind, right?
I mean, I guess what
If the thing
is
is though, if you don't pierce this and he thought seizes you, he takes one of these three and he leaves the pierce there, and he's gonna play around it all day anyways. And so it's basically taking 2 cards from you.
huh?
It took the back to basics or whatever he took, but it also pseudo took the spell pierce, if that makes sense.
Okay.
And my deck has a lot of live draws. It's ultra redundant, right? I have 8 cantrips and 4 stone forges, and one of them came off the top. So now he has to deal with this, right? So, and he doesn't have days for that. So now he's on
it's
Esper or some shit then. Okay.
Interesting.
So now he doesn't have days.
So what's Esper?
Um, it's not common, but I've seen some Esper Temple like lists. Normally you minus, but right now I'm gonna plus only because there's only one clean out to Teferi with the Shieldred's Edict, right? I don't expect him to have it, so I'm gonna plus. And again, it goes back to the days, right? Because if he didn't days, he'd play a third land right now, and he could ending this for 3 colors. And so, in that case, I would have minus, right? Because you don't want them to profitably 1-for-1 your Teferi. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I guess the only other argument that I had was like the you might plus because he very well could play a Bowmaster, and putting your Teferi to 1 is just, untap, ping it, and they move on.
Well, whether it's at 1 or 5, if he Bowmasters, I was going to force anyway. So you can rule that out,
Okay.
right? Because the Jace doesn't beat the Bowmaster either. See, so now I don't want to have to force an ending for 3, so now I'm going to minus. Plus, it gives me an opportunity to play the Jace.
Yeah.
All right. So, unfortunately, not. All right. We just hang out some more, then I suppose.
I'm assuming you didn't play the counterbalance because you'd rather not pitch Jace to force.
Correct.
Okay.
sure. But yes, so that's why the days was actually not that bad. It lets us play everything else pretty freely, and then you can't ending on turn 3. He's one turn late. That's my Teferi run around doing Teferi things. Man.
So you're doing that mostly, I assume, to respect a Kaito.
Yeah, this hand can't beat Kaito. Oh, there we go.
Well, there you go. Okay.
I would have settled. I would have settled for a land to Jace them, but this will work too.
Wins just as much as
Jace
in this scenario. Yeah,
yeah.
I'll do it.
Yeah. So the funny thing is, like, if he didn't daze my spell pierce, he could have dazed my Stoneforge, which would have been a lot better, or even dazing my Teferi. So you see, like, it's not that bad.
Okay.
All right, so
I guess it was because he ended up being tempo that it kind of worked out. I guess my thought was more like if he was like, blue-black reanimator, then that's sacrificing potentially 2 pieces of counter magic against the combo deck.
Yeah.
Here, I'll be right back and get some water.
Yeah.
All right, where was I?
And it's kind of funny because a lot of people were super shocked that I was playing Control and an older version of Control at that.
And sitting at the top tables. I mean, we were kind of joking, but like earlier, but like when you're watching the top tables or you're near the top and you get paired with like someone against someone with an offbeat deck, you're probably in for a bad time versus a specialist, like a really good specialist too.
Yeah. So let's say you're in a 9-round day 1 of a big event and you pair into something that's, you really, really didn't expect, whether it's Stoneblade, Enchantress, Dredge, any of that. You're probably in for a bad time unless the matchup's inherently in your favor, right? Because it means that they probably are there because they're good and their deck is a little unique, right? Whereas Oops All Spells, for example, let's say if you say it's a coin toss every game and every match, if there's enough Oops All Spells players or enough trials or you're just lucky, you can get to a top table like 7-1, XO, whatever, right? But let's say you're playing an Enchantress deck, a Dredge deck, a Stoneblade deck, or a deck that doesn't just, quote, free win. If they're at the top tables, it's unlikely through coin flipping like an Oops All Spells deck, right?
Yeah.
It means they probably know what they're doing, which is probably to your detriment. All right. But yeah, it's kind of funny because a lot of people did mutter under their breath or tell me afterwards. They're like, yeah, I wish your deck was just Jeskai Wizards. That's what I thought you were on. It would have been so much easier to deal with Wizards like a Thunder Trap and a Stoneforge. I'm like, yeah, I know, right? Can't blast this card. Oh, man, that's so frustrating.
What? Him taking the Stoneforge?
Yeah. So that's the Scalding, that's the Stoneforge. Oh, he doesn't have anything going on, huh?
Oh, really? Wow, okay.
All right, so we're just going to play super slow, and his dazes are never going to catch anything, hopefully.
Jeez, there's the land flood again.
Yeah, that was 3 lands in a row, right?
Yeah,
it's kind of wild. Plus.
So why'd you plus there?
Because his only clean answer that 1-for-1 is a Shieldred's Edict.
Okay.
But if he Bowmasters me, this goes to 4. I plow it and then I unsummon it, right? And then he goes back to 1, and I've essentially dealt with both withdrawing without like. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah. All right.
The plow plus his ability answers both cleanly because I draw one. Yeah.
Oh wow, already three in. All right, we'll finish up the league, then call it a night. It's fun watching you play. I feel like I learn a lot, or you just make it look really probably easier than it actually is.
Oh, thanks. I do get that a lot. People that have seen me, whether it's online or in paper, it's pretty rare to see, very few people have gotten the chance to see me like play online because I don't really stream or I don't stream. And then in paper, like because paper events are few and far between now.
Yeah.
But
Plus, when you're playing
when it
paper,
does happen,
like I
yeah,
mean, they have their own matches to play, so they're not gonna.
exactly. Yeah, but people do say like it's. I think a common sentiment is it feels like I typically know what they're doing ahead of time, or it's like playing Counter Strike with wall hacks. I just like see past things
I
much
think I
further
told you
ahead.
that one. Yeah, so you just play with
Yeah,
fucking wall hacks, like.
like people like there was people that couldn't believe that I was playing three Jaces, right? And then there was actually a good crowd of 10, 20 people watching me, like rounds 11 or 12 or whatnot, and then also like 6, 7, 8 or 7, 8, 9 day one, and they were just watching me, and I was just like playing against Storm or Cutter, and I 2-0'd them both, and I was just like running through them, like. And afterwards, they talked to me about my deck, like you make it seem so easy, and I'm like, well, I mean, it's play a deck a lot and just have a good understanding of the game, but they just couldn't believe that I'm casting a 4-mana card in 2025. It's not called the Ring, you know. But yeah. But they're like, when you play it though, it's like it just seems so easy. You just do this, you just do that, you play Jace, they don't have any responses, and then you win. I'm like, well, yeah, you have to kind of build up to it, right? I probably had a beta days or maneuver myself in such a way that the Jace was gonna land, right?
Yeah.
And then also on top of that, like when he does land, you can't be doing dumb shit, right? Some people are like, oh well, bow matches exist. Like, yeah, well, no shit. Doesn't mean I'm just gonna like run head first into it if I don't have to.
So what do you think? Let's see. What are we doing here?
People forget Pyroblast and Daze existed when Jace was printed up until now, right?
Yeah. Basically,
what is this?
Nadu, maybe? Yeah.
Depths? Is this
Scythe
GSZ
Cap?
for one? GSZ for one?
Oh, why don't you spell pierce that?
Because I want to. Okay, so this might be Nadu, the mid-range one, and I'm not spell piercing it because it's too low. So, oops.
Gotta crack your fetch first.
Yeah, you want to spell pierce the 4-drop GSZ for Nadu, not this one, especially when I have like an ending, right? Because this deck, my deck is deathly afraid of Sylvan Safekeeper, but it's so early in the game, and I already had one even before drawing this one that I don't think he's going to sacrifice more than one land to keep it alive. You know what I mean?
Okay.
And if he does, it's turning my prismatic endings into sinkholes, right?
So on that note, if you were afraid of Green Sun Zenith for 3, why are you playing Coat now instead of holding up Pierce to stop that potential outcome?
Because at this point, I just need to add pressure.
Okay.
My hand is not good enough that I think I can sit back and just play a counter war. But once when you have this guy or any form of pressure, then you can somewhat sit back, right? But if I'm not applying any pressure whatsoever with endurance, then he's too free to sit back and do whatever the heck he wants, right? If I'm not pressuring him, he's just going to do what he wants to do and go off when he's ready. He's not using it? All right. Annoyingly, he has 2 basics out. All right, we force in.
mean, back to basics is still pretty good here.
Yeah, unfortunately, the difference between 1 basic and 2 is huge here, right?
Yeah, I mean, I'm not saying it's not going to win you the game on the spot, but you know, it's
Yeah. I mean, I'd rather have it than not have it. I agree, but it just sucks because he still can do things. Whereas if there was only 3 of these were locked down, I think that's game over.
yeah.
But it's cool. It's fine. I mean, I think he fetched for both of them directly, so he played around it. Okay, cool. We'll take that. Okay, sure. We will race because we race faster. Oh, he forgot about the ward. It's unfortunate.
I'm laughing. Offline, we were talking about how like cryptic code does a really good impression of cryptic command, and that like no one actually knows what the damn thing does. And there's just another one of those like, yep, it has ward. Yep, it's unblockable. Yep, you can bounce the coat. No,
Yeah.
the creature itself has ward too. It's not a function of cryptic coat. Like I feel like I've run into like every iteration of mistake people make against like cryptic coat. Yeah. Yeah, I guess we're just too used to playing with it. We barely even like notice it anymore.
Yeah. I mean, we know exactly what it does now, right?
I would hope so at this point. Oh wow. Okay. Yeah, you were right. You just had to apply pressure. I mean, if you're
Yeah, I mean, we can't sit back all day.
Yeah.
Doesn't work.
Now, unless
So he should die. He should die here because
I don't even know
the
what
only way to
out
beat this is a plow, right? He only has 2 lands, and even if he does it, we just bounce and replay and we kill him, right? It's like whatever. The milkshake place called the Milkshake Factory in Pittsburgh was quite good, though. I had 1 milkshake there on Thursday, 2 milkshakes there on Friday, and then 1 more on Saturday. So total 4 milkshakes in 3 days.
You, my friend, might have a problem.
I mean, we're on vacation,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Gotta live a little.
Vacation calories don't count.
Exactly.
They do. They do.
Uh-oh. Oh, man.
Ooh.
First we draw mono lands, and now we draw
It's
no
one
lands.
land, and your hand is being pulled in some noticeably different directions here.
Yeah.
And you can't even really answer a like if his turn 1 is that
Halfling.
halfling, then he's gonna turn 3 Nadu, and like you just kind of get to sit back and watch.
Oh man, this is a halfling. Oh, we're okay.
Okay, you're not dead.
All right, I need him to tap 3 mana for a Nadu. Multiple times, preferably. I think this is it. I think he's going to Teferi or Nadu here. There's no reason to be cracking this. He's playing around back to basics like hella hard now.
You gonna red blast this?
Yeah, I don't want to move to discard.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah, okay.
All right, I'm probably going to lose this game, and you know what? I somewhat deserved it.
So where do you think you went wrong with the keep?
Probably.
No, I feel like I've seen you keep sketchier, but I guess you didn't had a cantrip and like you were forced into
No,
getting
no,
this
this is
basically.
definitely like one of the sketchiest. But I took that risk because I was up a game, and also I had 2 forces. Oh, okay. Well, I didn't expect this boy. That was a surprise.
I haven't seen that card in a long time.
Pretty much just Maverick plays it now. It's the only deck that I can think of that plays Tigo.
Land. How about a Snapcaster Mage?
All right, we'll just have to really dial in for game 3, I suppose.
Nadu? Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, he had the combo. Okay. All
Hey,
right.
if you had Fire Magic, you could probably win the game.
Dude, Fire Magic would win this game. He would have 2 cards, 3 lands, and no dudes. Okay, what's happening here?
So, just curious, I think you mentioned it, but at any point during your tournament run, did you feel like you could have used a Fire Magic?
There was not a single match that I wanted Fire Magic in. But, you know, again, that's just variance and luck of the draw, right? If I played against Cradle Control, I would have wished that I had 10 in my sideboard. But I literally just happened to get matched against 0 decks where I would have wanted Fire Magic. All right. So I'm playing out the code for the same reason earlier, right? He had 4 mana last turn, so if he was going to Green Sun Zenith for Nadu, he would have done so, which means he doesn't have it, right? And the only reason why I wouldn't play this is to keep the Pyroblast open, right?
Yeah.
But I don't expect to Pyroblast anything, so I'm just going to apply pressure. Because sitting back, we're going to lose. Like, he's going to assemble it. He has, what, 3 Nadus and 4 Green Suns left? And he can't stop 4 Green Suns, only the 3 Nadus. So we just got to start smashing. So he doesn't have Nadu, right? Or Teferi. We know that because he would have played it.
God, another red blast. Okay, cool. I'll take it.
I'd rather have a Spell Pierce if he doesn't play another land because we could hit the Green Sun for 4, right?
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Because, again, this only... Yeah. Because right now, if we shoot the Nadu on the stack, he's just going to draw 6, right? Or add 6 cards here. So it's not exactly very helpful. We already had that via this thing. Yeah, our backs are definitely against the wall here.
Are you doing this because you want to just put another body and even more pressure on him?
Yeah, we want to end the game as fast as possible before he gets a chance to do something. And we're stopping this in particular because we don't know what payoff he's going to get. Again, he has 4 Green Suns and 3 Nadus. If he draws a Nadu, we can blast it. But if he draws one of the four Green Suns, we're going to look stupid and then we're going to lose, right?
Yeah.
So this is so now a 7-turn clock became a 4-turn clock. Or 3-turn clock. Sorry, this is 5 damage.
Oh god, I was like, oh Narset's such a, and then I realized you couldn't cast it.
No, my mana's fucked up.
Yeah.
Yeah, so he has 2 more draw steps. Before that, he would have gotten like 7 draw steps, right? Like 15 life.
So land would be outstanding.
Yeah, a blue land.
Yeah,
specifically.
A blue land. Oh god, yeah, the last plane. Son of a bitch. I should have been more specific.
Okay, this is good because if he goes,
too. Yeah,
yeah,
you take that.
Putting him at 3 is super relevant because then this thing becomes lethal.
Yeah. I mean, you'd rather not plow unless you have to, but yeah, I mean, you know, if you have to, you're going to do what you got to do.
Yeah.
Yeah, because 4 is a suddenly magic number for him. Or
Yeah. Yeah.
Is there a reason you did it now? Because I would have assumed like just wait until he plays out a Nadu or something.
He had one card in hand. If he has Force of Negation, so he there you go.
Oh,
If he played Force of Negation, it burns his whole turn, right? He can play no other spell, right?
yeah.
If he played Force of Negation or Force of Will, it's a complete tap
No
out. All right,
way. Oh my.
he just wanted it more than us.
Cannot be beat.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna concede here because he's gonna pick up 6 cards here and then 6 cards on my upkeep minimum. If not, if he hits more, he's can get a lot more.
You just wanted it more, Mitchell.
Yeah, he wanted it more than I did.
You should have practiced.
Unfortunate. Oh man, we went from 1 land to 6 lands. Well, it was like 5 lands to 1 land and back to 6. I just can't get a reasonable hand these days. We were pretty close to stealing that game, though. No,
Yeah, you were very.
We were 1 hit away.
His hand needed to be like freaking perfect for him to win that, and it more or less was.
Yeah, because he was hellbent once when he played the second Nomad, right? His hand was perfect, and we were 1 short. 1 good card short. 1 interaction short. All right.
Kind of coming together.
Yeah. My friends and I always joke, when you're playing Magic, and it's always the same saying, man, my hand's just 1 brainstorm away from being good. It's always 1 brainstorm away from being good. All right. I need a back to basics here. Games 1 and 2, he really respected it. Now he just has to play his shit. Oh, well, there we go.
Are you gonna hold off a turn? No. All right.
No, because if he forces, he goes down to 2.
Okay.
If I wait a turn, this thing untaps and he can use ponders and he can put creatures into play, which I cannot answer, right? Because I don't have any plows.
Yeah. Okay, that makes sense.
I either let him cantrip for free or put creatures into play for free. Either way, I'm not letting that happen, right?
Yeah. So he'll either get very far behind or pay the iron price on his lands, or the iron price in the form of 2 cards out of his hand.
Yeah. They do play 1 Boseiju though, so I do have to be wary of that.
You could just play second back to basics. I don't know if that's overkill though.
I think it's overkill because the other 2 cards are bad, and I don't want to time walk myself 2 turns at the chance he might have a Boseiju. Even if he Boseijus me, he's just gonna unlock my Volcanic anyways, and I still have counter magic, right? It's like not over. Whereas like Cloud Post, you really, really need to have backup against the green one, right? It's really important. This is not lights out. They have 3 basics. Certain decks, this is lights out. You protect it with your life. This is not one of those times.
Chase Snap Ponder maybe set up your next turn.
Yeah, but the question is, am I willing to do it now?
I think so.
No, I'm gonna wait 1 more turn.
Okay.
Because remember, if my Snapcaster doesn't hit a Ponder, my Force turns off. Plains Forest. That's why it's also not worth it to time walk yourself twice, because he plays basics.
Yeah.
A deck with 0 non-basics, it's worth it. Here, this deck is built to squirm out of things like this. Most fair blue mid-range or control decks can squirm out of little light locks like this. Gadget Teague. Okay. I'm assuming he's not going to swing. He knows I play Snap, right? I don't know what he's doing. It's kind of weird. He might have 2 Endurance here. Apparently he doesn't have anything. That was really dumb on his part.
Okay, yeah, I'm just trying to figure out this attack too. Maybe just forgot you have it.
I suppose he likely forgot it.
So Stoneforge into Cryptic Code, I'm guessing?
Yeah.
Or is that going to be too slow?
No, Cryptic's fine.
Alright.
Because he saw Stoneforge, he probably has like some non-zero number of endings or plows, and I just really don't want to tap 5 mana for a Batter Skull, but I am willing to commit 3 to a Cryptic Code. Plus it's Force Pitch, worst comes to worst. Carpet? Oh man, that's so many. Alright.
Yeah, that's a lot
That's
of...
unfortunate. Yeah, I want to ending it, but that gives him 1 Dark Ritual of 4 mana one time, which is...
That's a lot of mana.
Exactly. Why are we fetching here?
So you don't put Mountain under Cryptic Coat?
Yeah, exactly. People think I'm like, sometimes we'll point out that seems kind of crazy. It's a 1 in 39. Yeah, well, then you do it 39 times, you're going to get fucked over once, right?
Eventually, yeah.
Yeah, you do it enough, it's going to catch up. All right, cool. All right, well, we're just rolling along.
Okay, well, here's our 5-0. Let's see if you can get it done.
Yeah, I'll probably get Q into Eldrazi and explode right now.
Oh, looks like you minimized the stream or something.
Oh, did I?
Oh, yeah,
whoops.
it's back. No worries. Straight into Eldrazi or Elves. Just as I was getting used to the idea of not seeing elves around, I run into it and just absolutely creams me. And it's, of course, when I cut both my fire magics. It's just one of those days.
Yeah. I mean, I think everyone's had those days where you just seem like you can't win no matter what you do.
Yeah.
Like, I remember maybe about 2 or 3 weeks ago, I had a good amount of time in 2 days. I played like, I don't know, some crazy 8 leagues in a couple days. And I think I 5-0'd like 5 or 6 of them. And then after a few day pause, I came back. I think I 0-4'd the very next league, like a couple days later. And it wasn't just 0-4, it was 0-2, 0-2, 0-2, 0-2. And then every match just felt like it could not have been won, right? Either I multi-5 or like my opponent just turn ones me. And it's pretty frustrating. But it happens to the best of us. Oh, a very interesting thing I saw was one table over to me at Eternal Weekend.
Yeah.
A person, when presenting their deck, had a deck that was like in the cards in the deck box that equated to probably, if I had to guess, 85 cards, right? And 10 of those cards were made to look like they were playing a certain deck. Something that was scary, like, I don't know, whether it's Stifle or Oops or, you know, something that makes you play differently than you would otherwise, right?
Yeah.
And then when the match actually got on its way, the opponent who saw what that guy had before realized that it's completely different and called a judge to deck check him because it's like, yo, like, this is not what I saw. Like, what the heck's going on? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then initially the judges gave him a game loss because he had more than 75 cards in his deck box. And here's where the interesting thing happens. That guy who got a game loss said, no, I don't, because look, and he takes those 10 cards out of their sleeves inside the deck box and said, look, they have no magic backs. They're not backed, which means they're not legal magic cards. And so they're not to be considered a part of my deck. And under the current rules, he is correct. And so they withdrew the game loss and the match proceeded. But that was just like an example of what one of my friends was talking about before. You know what I mean? Can it be construed as frowned upon by some people? Yeah, possibly. But is it against the rules? Technically not. And, are you or me or other people willing to go that far? Maybe, maybe not. But this guy is, and it is what it is. We are playing at the highest levels, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So yeah. So I thought that was very interesting. Some would call it angle shooting.
I certainly would.
But yeah, that was very interesting. And I think that's different than what I did because, first of all, mine was more of a joke. And even so, what's in a name, right? A name is a name. Just because I'm called faulted form, right? Even if I was in fact faulted form, doesn't really mean anything. But to physically show someone, let's say, like Tendrils of Agony in your deck box, that's an actual real juke because they're perceiving it, they're seeing it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's at least that's my
that's the exact definition of a technicality to me.
Yeah, exactly. That's a literal technicality because it's not magic backed. I'm like, okay, sure. I suppose.
What deck are you getting vibes off for right now?
Well, I thought it was Reanimator, but now it looks like, I was going to say, now it looks like Energy. And had I known it was Energy, I would not have gotten Cauldron Complete.
Yeah.
I would have gotten the Batter Score Cryptic, but anyways, here we are.
Are you forcing that because he flips over a removal spell and now you're in the shit again?
Yeah, and also I just need I need him to not have a clock because if it hits a creature, it's 4 or 5 power too, right? And that threatens my race. It's a 2-for-1. And in this case, I'm willing to lose 1 card than for him to go up a card. It's like one of the few cards I can pierce in this deck, other than Plow.
There's no reason not to.
Basis, yeah.
It's only getting worse.
Well, there is a reason. He could be baiting me. Like he does this first, and then he does like I don't know,
Plow.
What's it called? The Plow or the that one? It's like this white card that like prisons you until energy or some shit runs out.
Static prison.
Yeah, exactly. So there is a reason. However, I don't think he was baiting me. I did consider it. You know what I mean? And I want to pierce while I still can.
What was the vibe that told you he's not baiting? I'm just curious.
What was the vibe?
Yeah, like what makes you think he's not baiting?
I don't think he's like considering that I have counter magic in hand, or at least cheap counter magic like Pierce. You know what I mean? Because sometimes you're like, okay, I think my opponent has counter magic. I need to do something before my real play. I don't think that even crossed his mind. I think that his hand was mediocre, and I think he just was running things out, or he was running it out to set up a Ajani next turn, right? Because he can sacrifice token and flip the Ajani over. Things like that. All right. So Pierce, terrible. Hydroblast, medium.
Pierce
everything
won
else.
You the game Pierce won you the last game. What are you doing?
I mean, we don't know that.
Yeah, I know. I'm just giving you a hard time.
All right. This hand is not good, but we're going to keep it.
This hand is a little worse than not good. Like, you fold to like...
Yeah, but he's a Thoughtseize deck, remember? I thought he was on Reanimator because of Badlands until the thing.
So, I mean, were you not worried about that white energy 1-drop Guide of Souls?
Ocelot?
No. Well, I mean, him too.
If he played the Guide of Souls, it's fine. But if he plays Ocelot, I force that shit.
Raptor?
Oh, so,
wow, you respect it that much. Okay. I guess in my gameplay I would never consider forcing that, but I'll have to rethink that, I suppose.
Well, it's because I've structured my turn, right? I've structured it so that he's going to play something, I'm going to plow it, and then I'm going to untap it into Fairy.
Yeah, okay. Or not. Jeez.
I mean, if he doesn't have a 3-drop, it means he's holding up Bowmaster then. which works out though, because had I played Teferi into the Bowmaster,
Yeah.
it's bad because I can't plus, but I also can't minus, right? Not profitably. So this is okay because I can plow it and then I can unsummon it. It just depends on if he has other bullshit to drop the same turn. Kind of wish I had back to basics, but I'm just drawing lands here. What to do? Oh man. All right, Mister. Force Eorlings.
Whoa.
Oh, that's bad because he can take the fucking Monarch.
Oh yeah. What a madman.
Yeah. So he's gonna get the Eorlings and I'm gonna die because I'm gonna plow this because I have to. So if I had 2 kill spells, it actually would have been really good because then his Eorlings basically gets blanked.
Yeah.
But now I'm in a really, really bad spot.
I don't know how you win this one.
Not like that, and not like that. I don't. That's the trick. I don't win that one.
Wow.
Okay.
Does that
All
make
right.
you want to put Spell Pierce back in, knowing that that he's not accidentally flipping 4th over? Like,
yeah, I mean that's just an overreaction. Because like if I was a control deck, like a full one with less creatures, I might consider it. But I can take back Monarch. Cryptic Coat is really good against Monarchs.
yeah.
All right. Oh man, it's fucking Tundra.
Again.
All right, here we go. Damn, I have 8 kill spells in my deck for 1 mana, and I got 0 in my last opener and 0 this time around. Pretty frustrating. Why are we brainstorming here?
Try and find a Stone Forge for next turn, and then you can still shuffle
Yeah,
away.
and also, if I don't brainstorm, I'm basically on a mulligan to 6, so I have to do it. And this is annoying because he's gonna blast it. Apparently, I don't know why, but anyways, he's gonna blast it. It's fucking annoying. Blasting this is like bad 90% of the time, but anyways, here we are. He didn't get punished for it because if I had a Stoneforge and I play it, his next turn only has 1 mana because he must commit a blast or a bolt or something. Dude, how does he always have this card?
Because he's good.
Oh. Jesus, like, all right, well. Anyways, I think we lose because I'm not able to draw kill spells. Yeah, this is 1 turn too late. Literally exactly 1 turn too late.
So it's a very bounce something. I don't even know what that would do. Or you have to ambush with a Snapcaster Mage.
Yeah, I have to ambush the Johnny. I basically have to ambush the Ajani and then force any card that he does against my Snapcaster. Man.
So it's force pitch to Fairy?
No, because we have to bounce this fucking cat token.
Alright.
If he has a Bowmaster or another plow, this shit would suck.
I feel like if he had a Bowmaster, he's gonna snipe this Snapcaster right now to save the Ajani, but we'll find out.
I think, yeah, you're right. I think if he had a Bowmaster, he would have used it to save the Ajani.
So cast your Brainstorm and let's go about our business.
Oh, he's just really conservative and wants to hit me for extra damage with it. That's annoying. All right. God damn. His hand is just aggressively fast, and we don't have any kill spells.
Legacy staple.
Yeah.
Fire magic.
Yeah.
God, I cannot wait until they ban something and I can finally play 2 fire magics and not feel terrible. Like, I like having 2 of those effects in my board. I just do. I just do. I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah, I mean it's good. I mean, man, this sucks. I need a 4th land too, so I'm ugh. I think I'm just dead. I don't think I can do anything.
Getting hit for what, 8 next turn? Yeah, it's gonna be a little late for all this. You can.
Yeah, so 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and then
doesn't do
I crack fetch. I
anything-
go to 1 life. I plow 1, plow another, block 1. So if he has a single, if one of these 3 cards can do 1 damage, I lose.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, we're dead.
That's certainly more than 1 damage.
Yeah. God damn it.
So close.
Well, yeah, so close. Ugh, garbage.
Oh well.
But yeah.
4-1. Solid play. All right.
Yeah. Oh well. Till next time then.
Yeah, I'll call it a night. But hey, it was fun talking to you. We'll do it again sometime.
Yeah.
Okay.
For sure. All right. Have a good night.
Have a good night. Bye.